In this tutorial, I'm going to talk about working with images. How can you add an image to your web page? And how can you change the size of an image? I'm going to do this for images you have in your own folder and also for images from an online source. The first thing you need to do is to start by creating a new folder and add an image to it. Any image, doesn't matter what kind. I've already done this myself. So I've created a new folder called Tutorial 6 and I've added an image called Star. Now go to Notepad and open a new document and type in the basic HTML code. Now save the file as an HTML document. So save as, and I'm going to save this as my first image .html, and I'm going to save it into the same folder I have my image in. So save. And now you can see my new HTML web page is in the same folder as my image. Now go back to Notepad, and now we're going to add our image to our new web page. So within the body tag, type in img src is, and then these two elements over here. So this is the image tag, and it doesn't need a closing tag, so this is all you need to write down. The first part says you would like to show an image on your web page, and the second part, the search part, makes it possible to search a certain image file. So in this case, I would like to search the image called Star. So I already have the name of my image, but I still don't know what kind of image file this is, because you have different kinds of image files. You have JPEG, you have GIF, you have PNG. So how do I know what kind of image file this is? Well, just click with your right mouse button on your image, then go to Properties, and then over here you can see what kind of file this is. So in this case it's a JPEG file. So go back to Notepad and over here type in star.jpg, and now I'm going to save it and I'm going to launch it in my browser. Okay, so now we've made our first image on our web page. So now go back to Notepad. As you can see, I only wrote down the name and the type of image file this image is saved in. I can do this because my image and my HTML file are in the same folder. But most of the time, people want their image files in a separate folder. So I'm going to show you how you can do that. So we're going to create a new folder. And we're going to call it Pictures. I'm going to copy this image and I'm going to paste it within my new folder called Pictures, and I'm going to give it a new name. I'm going to name it Star in Folder. Okay, so now go back to Notepad. We're going to copy and paste the image tag, and if you want to refer to our new image called Star in Folder, first type in the name of the folder called Pictures, and then type in Star in Folder, then JPEG, and then save your file. Now we're going to our browser, refresh, and now we have our second image. So it worked. If you want to find out if it worked, you can test it by going back and just remove this element over here. Then if you save it and you're refreshing the page, then over here you can see a broken image. So something went wrong, you see? So this is called Star in Folder. Save, then refresh, and now we have our image back. Now of course there are a lot of places you could save your pictures in, and I don't have the time to show them all to you, so I've made a page where you can see which path you need to be able to show your picture. So let me zoom in a bit more. This is the first one we did, the image and the HTML web page in the same folder. This is the second one we did, so we have our image file in a separate folder from our HTML web page. And now I have a few more examples for you guys. So we have this one over here, and I have a few more. So if you want to know the right path, just pause the tutorial and type in the right path. And we have the last one over here. So now we go back to Notepad, and I'm going to show you how you can change the size of an image. So let's just use this path over here. So I'm going to remove this one, and I'm going to copy this image, and this one will keep the current size and this one will make a new size. If we want to change the size of an image, we first need to know the current size. So go back to your folder, right click on your image, go to Properties, and then go to Details. So over here you can see I have my width and my height. So the width of this image is 295 pixels and the height is 201 pixels. So just so you can see the current size. In here I'm going to write down the width, which is 295, and the height, that's 201. Okay, now I want my second image to be half the size. So again, just copy and paste the width and the height. Paste it over here. Change the width into 148 and the height change it into 100. Now save, and when I refresh my page, this will happen. So we have two images called star.jpg, and the second one is smaller. Now let's make it bigger than this image. So go back to Notepad, just copy and paste your image again, and now the width will be 443 and the height will be 300. Okay, so now save, go back to your browser, refresh, and now your image is bigger. So now you know how you can change the size of an image. Okay, now go back to Notepad, and now I'm going to show you how you can use images from an online source on your webpage. So just remove these images over here, create a new image tag, and now we need a nice image from an online source. So I already found one, and this is the website called spideronlines.com, and it has all kinds of wallpapers. And I'm going to use this image over here. So just right click on the image, then select copy the address of the image, go back to Notepad, paste it, then I'm going to save it, then I'm going back to my browser, going to refresh, and now I have my image. Let's say I wanted to change the size of this image. How do I do that? Go back to the web page you got your image from, right click on the image, and then select Inspect. It can also be named Source Code. So press that button, and now you can see the whole HTML code this web page is made in. And over here is the picture we're using. Now, as you can see, this image has a certain width and height. So it has a width and a height of 230 by 160. And this is the height the person who made this web page chose. So this picture is 230 by 160. But as you can see below, the natural size of this picture is 430 by 288 pixels. So when you copy the address to this image, the size of the image is actually 430 by 288 pixels. So I can show you when I go back to Notepad, and over here I'm writing down a width of 430 and a height of 288, nothing happens. So I'm going to save, back to my browser, refresh, and now you can see nothing has happened. It's the same picture. Now go back to that website and let's use the width and the height that is used over here. So 230 and 160. So we're going to copy and paste this image and just type in 230 and 160. Save it. Go back to your HTML page, refresh, and now we have a second image that is much smaller, and as you can see, it's the same size as this picture over here. So this is how you can use images from an online source on your webpage, and now you also know how you can change the size of these images. So this was the end of my tutorial. Good luck!